LA Sparks Weekly.
Yo, what's up, LA Sparks fans? It's LA Sparks Weekly here. I am Michael Matthew, of course, with the one and only DJ Tracy Treese. The Sparks are coming off a tough loss last game. Now they're back tonight against the Minnesota Lynx, who are playing some really good basketball. DJ, what can the Sparks do tonight to make sure they pick up a big, needed win?
Tonight, defense is going to be key, Michael, because Minnesota is known for their lockdown defense. I'm hearing from a little bird on X that Nafisa Collier might not be playing. So if Nafisa Collier does not play, we have a really good chance. We need to watch out for Diamond Miller. We need to watch out for the three-point line because Caleb McBride will take us out from the three-point line. But if we can keep our turnovers low and make sure we contest shots, I think we can sneak by with a win tonight.
And, you know, the Sparks has been doing better with their turnovers. But for them, it's about closing these close games. You know, I talked to Rickea earlier. She said, hey, I can be that player that can make it happen. But who do you think, or who are you going to be looking for that if we get another close game that can get some big buckets? Because I think there's Erica. You know what she can do, but a lot of times you need a wing player to step up. Who are you going to be looking for tonight?
I'm calling it early, but I'm going to call Azarae Z Stevens up because nobody has watched her all season, y'all. So the scouting reports are really light on Azarae. They're using all the footage from last year, and she's actually developed a lot since playing overseas. She came in her first game and immediately made an impact on the team. So I'm thinking Z is going to be the one that hits the three, that closes that close game for us.
I like that because, you know, for those of you who missed last game, Z is back. Azarae Stevens, she plays some very solid basketball. She's a nice scoring big, and I like what she's bringing to the team so far. So I'm going to be looking out for her tonight. When it comes to defensively, you know, the coach is talking about slippage. That was the word that you mentioned, you know, and the slippage that they're happening. How do they fix that on tonight, the slippage that's been happening so far?
I mean, you have to be militant. You got to keep it tight. I'm already thinking that Minnesota is going to try to exploit that slippage. They've been watching film on us just like we've been watching film on them. So we have to make sure we're getting to all of our defensive assignments on time and contesting every single shot. Coach Miller talked about it in that pregame presser. You got to make sure that you put your hands up on every single shot because if you leave any of their players open, you could be in big trouble tonight.
So they got to make sure they don't allow this team to go crazy. But you mentioned Coach. We got Coach for you here, Coach Kurt Miller with the pregame presser.
Coach, the Lynx are top 5 in points per game, third in three-pointers, I think number 1 in assists. So what's the key to maintaining and containing that potent offense?
Well, he could give you a lot more stats where they're number 1 in the league offensively, but yeah, they're having a terrific year. Their tempo is impressive. They're sharing the ball. They're in and out of actions. They just look real connected with that group that has a lot of veteran players and playing really well and sharing it. Obviously, Fee's injury changes the head of the snake, but they have such good players, and McBride as an all-star. Courtney Williams over the last 2 years has really, turned from a great combo guard or a great 2-guard in this league to a really good facilitating point guard. So still, even with Fee out, potentially, still really good guard play by them, and Bridget plays just such a key role for them. So again, you have to be on your game because they can exploit you in a hurry defensively because of their movement, because of their ability to share the basketball. So can we find some disruption tonight? Can we stay in plays? That's the key. And then the arc is so important to them. Like 6 of the 10, if Fee doesn't go tonight, 6 of the 10 take more than 50% of their shots are threes. So a lot of three-point shooters on the floor for them tonight, also a key for them.
Hey Coach, Rickea TV. Talk a little bit about the tough love that you might have given the team after last game and what kind of grace you might have given to Lee, who got those 3 fouls right away.
Yeah, it didn't go back with Lee, not for lack of confidence, just wasn't her night. The foul trouble took her out. Those 3 minutes off the court early in the first half. Rolled out Azarae in her debut, which was exciting for us. Wanted to see what extended minutes looked like. She is comfortable guarding Griner, has guarded Griner through the years. I thought was doing a good job, to keep BG when they don't have DT to single digits was a night where we were going to roll with Azare. So it just wasn't Lee's night. Bright days for sure ahead for her. As for the tough love, obviously, I didn't feel like we played with the energy. More than anything, the energy needed to win in this league. And we know that, our margin is small. And so you can't be worrying about effort and energy in games when we need to spend our time more on schemes and what we're going to do offensively and defensively. That we didn't make shots. There's an area on the court, but I won't bore you guys with deep analytics, but outside of the 3-point line, above the top of the key, we were 2 for 20 on uncontested shots. That's 10% on uncontested shots. So once again, it's a make or miss league. It's hard to execute 2 uncontested shots in this league. And so when you get them, you have to step up and make them. And certainly we just, the other night, didn't make enough. And so they have to, build their own confidence and not lose that confidence in a game where maybe shots aren't falling. But my bigger concern was you couldn't look at how we played energy-wise from the Vegas game to the Phoenix game and feel like it was the same.
Hi, Coach. Benjamin Royer, LA Times. You just mentioned energy after the game Sunday. You talked about spirit and intensity. What is that mental message to the team going into the game during, losing 9 out of your last 10 and trying to get a W today?
Yeah, again, it's something that we shouldn't have to coach, right? It's something that has to be a calling card for us. We have to play spirited. We have to play with passion and energy and desire. Our margin is thinner than some teams because of our injuries and illnesses and people that are out and how young we are. So, again, that message is loud and clear to them that we have 2 days off in a row after this game. We had yesterday off, so a short prep for us for this game, but we have to leave it all out there. What maybe we didn't have opportunity for crazy prep time, we have a couple days off, so there's nothing we should be saving in the tank tonight. We should lay it all on the line.
Lynx broadcaster, Sloan.
Hi, Coach. Sloan and Leah B here with you with the Lynx broadcast team. I wanted to go back to Courtney and maybe what you've seen from her the last couple of years, or even like a great memory or something you appreciated from her, with your time with her that's kind of leading to this point in her career.
Sloan, she seems well coached. Courtney, one of my favorite all times. I know, coaches, the cliche is, there's no favorites, but, she was an unbelievable teammate. I always had her back. Obviously brought her back to Connecticut at one point after leaving. I would defend Courtney to anyone. I remember my off-season conversations with Cheryl about what I think and believe about Courtney, and she's just an incredible X's and O's mind. Hasn't always been the most vocal in locker rooms, but when she speaks, she's tremendous and understands the game, and is just really, really competitive. One of my all-time favorites. You knew what you were going to get. She wanted to compete. She loves to play. She will tell me and told me so many times, Coach, why can't we just play? I'll stop all these nonsense drills you like. But, she just was competitive, and love how she's adapted and really given her a second life right now, and proven to be a really good point guard in this league over the last 2 years, and I think has done a really good job leading that Minnesota team. So just one of my all-time favorites, and would defend her to anyone. I got her back and always will.
Coach, with Rickea Jackson, in what you have seen of her thus far, is there one or two things that really have jumped out at you, and what is changing in her game as you coach her this season?
Yeah, I think she's settled in. I think she's more and more comfortable in games. Obviously, you know, just the interesting journey within this year, coming into training camp with the injury to Azare, young post group with Cam and Lee in their first years with us. Lee for the first time back in the league in a few years. She played the majority of our training camp practices at the 4. As we got into the season, we started to get her more and more minutes at the 3 and realize how well she can affect our team, but long-term wise, what a talented 3 player she can be in this league, with still the versatility to be undersized and play some different lineups at the 4. So just, you know, love her confidence. She can go score the basketball. She has the ability to just make a play. She has the ability to just put the ball in the basket, and that's a luxury. You know, she's now what I think the biggest recent improvement that you see in her, that she is able to play more extended minutes, still at the level we need her to. And so you're seeing her minutes extend from the low 20s to now she's had some games where she's gone over 30 minutes or around that 30-minute mark. And you can see that she's finding the ability to still play at the level we need her when those minutes get higher. So really excited, you know, like she's a, you know, really rising star in this league, I believe, and a core piece for us as we move forward. And I know a lot of attention are on, you know, a couple specific rookies, but she is putting together maybe a little bit more quietly, but a really good rookie year for us. You know, our wins don't have us maybe in some of the conversations, but Rickea Jackson has had a really nice rookie year here the first half of the season.
Thank you.
Coach, I'm wondering if you may think some of the recent shooting woes over the last 2 games or so might be because of not practicing as much, and then also strategically, what would you like to see your team do, past energy and effort against the Lynx to be successful?
Yeah, I think, you know, Minnesota analytically is off the charts defensively. They're not easy to play against. They are, you know, the number 1 team, in my opinion, right now at congesting the paint. And when you get the ball there, there's 5 people with at least a foot in the paint. And so you've got to get the ball to the paint. You've got to try to score against them in the paint, but then you got to spray the ball around. So can you go, you know, get into the paint and spray it back to the 3-point line? And, you know, because they have such a good job of keeping you out of the paint, they force you into a lot of 2s. And it's just not where analytic basketball is right now. And we've struggled in some of those deep 2s as of recently or this year. So we've got to do a good job handling their congestion. We've got to do a good job of live ball turnovers. They really turn turnovers into points. They're just terrific at that. So again, their defense is off the charts right now, and is what that has them in the top 3 in the league. And so handling their defense, understanding where they're going to be, and we've shown them a lot of film from our first 2 games. We grew from the first game to the second game. We're right there, under 5 minutes to go in that second game. Another opportunity for us to just keep putting ourselves in that position if we can be there in the last 5 minutes again. Defensively, we've just got to be able to match their movement and really, again, stay in plays is the number 1 thing. The more contested shots we can make them take, the better. And the 3-point line is big for them. So can we do a better job on Bridget Carlton? Can we, you know, we've done a pretty good job on McBride these first 2 games. You know, like statistics have a funny way of coming back to the mean, but, you know, can we do a good job at the arc tonight?
Last question.
Hey, Coach, what did you see from Z the other night, and how much what impact did Steph leaving the game have on how you thought you may have had to use her?
Yeah, it was a, difficult, underrated, right? When we lose Steph, she's almost a 2.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. She gives you another facilitator when she's on the floor. She gives you, she's an energy person, and she brings us a lot of energy. So a big loss, for Steph to be out of the game so early the other night. But again, I'm a big unintended consequence guy. It opened the door for other people to play. Zaya, had her opportunities, and the way the game was going, the way Phoenix was defending, we knew we could get her off of ball screens into some of her, pull-up comfort zone. They just didn't go. I have confidence that Zaya can be a closer. She's not afraid of the moment. She's not, she doesn't shy away from big shot attempts. They just didn't go the other night, but I liked, I appreciated that she was fearless in big moments. It just didn't turn our direction the other night. But again, unintended consequence. You got to be ready. If you weren't ready before the game, and all of a sudden your number's called, sometimes that moment's too big for you. It's not going to be too big for Zaya, and so I appreciate that she's always ready. Thank you.
Have a good game.
Hey, so we're back. We just heard from Coach Kurt Miller, and no Stephanie Talbot tonight, who's going to be sitting out. Who's a name that we should be looking at today? Because I feel I have a name, but who's a name for you that we should be looking out for to step up in her absence?
I think Kia Nurse has got to step up. This is Kia Nurse's time to step back up to the plate. She had a really good beginning of the season.
Yes.
We saw a little bit of a dip, but that's all right. They always talk about the next woman up.
Yeah.
Kia Nurse is the next woman up, and we need her to step in and fill in that gap.
What's crazy, you saw my answer. I was going to say Kia Nurse. Kia Nurse is going to get more shot opportunities, a lot more things to happen, and she needs to make them happen. If not her, it's going to be Zaya Cook, who's going to get an opportunity to do a lot, so hopefully she can play well. You already know Ray is going to get those minutes they've been picking up, so let's see what these three players can do, because you're going to be needed to help this team win. Before we go, we got to give you our player of the game. Who are we picking to go crazy tonight? We're going to start with you, DJ.
I'm going to pick Azarae Z. Stevens. I think she's got the size, she's got the athleticism, and she's got fresh legs. So I'm going with Z for at least 15 points tonight.
I'm going to go Kia Nurse. I think that Kia is going to have that game that we're asking for her to have, and she's going to knock down some shots, get some buckets, maybe a 15 to 20 point game for Kia Nurse, and it's going to help the Sparks, dare I say, pick up a victory tonight against the Minnesota Lynx. Hey, make sure you guys are ready for this game. It's going to be a good one. We're going to have you covered with all the news, interviews that you need with the post-game pressers.
What's going on, LA Sparks Weekly fans? You already know me as DJ Treacy Treese, and I am here with assistant coach Nola Henry with the LA Sparks. Coach, welcome to the show, first of all. One thing that we saw that the fans said on our YouTube channel was, hey, who is this when you filled in for Coach Miller? Can you talk about what that experience was like?
Yeah, no, that experience was it was pretty surreal. It was an honor to be able to step in for Kurt as he was being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So it was surreal. I just met the moment we talked about all year long, just the players meet the moment. So they kind of inspired me, like next man up, we talk about next player up. So now it's just next coach up. So it was super inspiring.
Awesome, thank you. And one thing is, like, we see you out here working out with the players. Can you just let the fans know what all is entailed inside of an assistant coach's job?
Yeah, definitely. So a lot goes into it. A lot of film work, a lot of individual work, a lot of just studying the game and just trying to figure out the best ways to help them. That's on and off the court. Through film, through on-court workouts, player development. We have a really good player development coach, Danielle. So she kind of gives us a little bit of an idea of what each player needs to work on, and then I kind of just take it and run with it.
Can you talk about what it's been like to work with Rickea Jackson and Cameron Brink, those two all-star, like type rookies who are coming into the league hot? What are some things you worked on with them?
Yeah, definitely. Rickea and Cam, both really good players, and they'll have long careers in this league. I watched them all throughout the draft. So in college, I watched them a lot. So it was exciting to finally get them here in LA and work with them on the court. A lot of the things that we worked on with Rickea, she's super versatile, right? She can play back to the basket. She can shoot it from three. She's crazy. She has a good mid-range game, so she can kind of do it all. So it's been fun to kind of just have fun and be creative and find ways to get her to score. Whereas Cameron, another really good player, will have a really long career in this league. Her easiest way to transition into the league has been defensively, right? Rim protection. So just trying to help her speed up the learning curve on the defensive end and try to figure out areas where she can come from the weak side to come over and block shots, just the different areas where she can kind of attack some people looking to get to the rim. And then she's another player that can score at all three levels. And so just excited to see them both develop. I'm really excited about both of them. They're so good.
Awesome. And we saw a lot of the players come, and it seems like they cool. They all cool with you. Can you talk about midway through the season, what it's been like? What's some things that you are proud of with this team, and what are some things you're working on the curve with development?
Yeah, definitely. We're in a building year, so it's just been a lot of just fighting through adversity, right? And just improving game to game. So each game we go back, we look at film. We're pretty diligent about going back and just find the areas of improvement. And they're great. They step up every day ready to play. Win, lose, or draw, they play hard, led by De'Erica, who's relentless, so they get to kind of just follow after her and see win, lose, up 20, down 20, the effort shouldn't change. So it's been really exciting. I'm really close with a lot of them, so it's been fun just to come to work every day and enjoy the players that you work with, enjoy the staff that you work with. It's just always fun to come to work when it's a healthy work environment, so it's been fun.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. LA Sparks Weekly fans, you heard it here first. Assistant Coach Nolan Henry on LA Sparks Weekly. Thank you.
Michael Matthew here. What's up, LA Sparks Weekly? I am here with the rookie superstar herself, Rickea Jackson. So a month ago when we talked, that's a long time ago. So where have you think your game has grown since then?
I feel like I've grown the most mentally, picking my spots. On the defensive end, that's still a process, but I feel like I'm learning daily, guarding quick wing, all-star wing, each and every day. But I feel like I'm coming along.
And since the injury of Cam, A lot more has been in your play offensively, defensively. How have you been able to adapt since then?
Just doing whatever my team needs me to do. If I need to guard a 3, I'll guard her. If I need to guard a 4, I'll guard her. So just being versatile, I'm able to do those things. So, just trying to do whatever they need.
So we're nearly to the middle point of your season for your first, season of your career. What do you think of the WNBA so far, and what has been your experience on and off the court?
Yeah, it's crazy. I just was in film today, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like we played like 20 games, and this is crazy. It just goes by so fast. But I love the league, honestly. Everything that comes with it, the support of each team, the support of players, the support of the fans. Like, I just love that where it's trending and where it's going, and I feel like it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to be a focal point of basketball period.
And Coach talked about in the last presser that you guys are having your issues when it comes to closing close games. He needs somebody to step up on the court offensively. Could that be Rickea Jackson?
It definitely can. I just have to stay confident, and if it comes to me, I just need to do what I do. But yeah, he definitely said that, and I kind of took it to heart, but in a good way. I'm up for the challenge. So whatever the team needs, I'm there.
All right, and then tonight you guys got a big one against the Lynx here. What do you guys need to do to make sure you walk away with a victory?
We need to keep our turnovers low. I feel like the last 2 games we did a pretty good job with that. I feel like, again, we just need to close the game. That's where it is for us. I feel like we're up towards the end of the quarters, and then we just let it get away. So I feel like we just need to be confident at the end of the games and make smart plays.
And last time, we talked, I asked this question, have you got your nickname yet? What's going on?
I don't know. I've seen like fan base games. I've seen like Pretty Rickies. I said the Kia Keys. I like the Pretty Rickies personally. So far, that's been my favorite one. But I don't have an exact one yet. I still don't know. They have to come up with one for me. I don't just make it myself.
All right, I got you. Hey, so Sparks fans, make sure y'all working out. We need a nickname for Rickea. She's a superstar. You guys see the game. Hey, good luck tonight, Sparks. Yeah, thank you so much.
The 5'6" guard out of Arizona, number 15, and 6-foot guard from the University of Tennessee, and forward 6'6" from the University of Tennessee, number 23, She's still got a jumper too, guaranteed. She's still got a jumper too. And if you had a great time today, let me know it's here. Good to see you guys. See y'all right there. Catch it. Hey man, you guys had a good time? Oh, look at this. All right, fans, we must thank you for coming out to tonight's game. Don't miss our next home game, Tuesday, July 16th, right here at Metro.com Arena. The 10th day is the Sparks take on the Seattle Storm. You can scan the QR code on the video board for ticket information, or you can get your tickets right now at LSports.com/tickets. Don't forget, tip-off is at 12:30 p.m. that day. Do not miss out on the fun. On behalf of all of us here at the...
What's up, guys? Another tough one tonight. 82-67 defeat. The Sparks fall to the Minnesota Lynx. LA Sparks Weekly, I am Michael Matthew here with the one and only DJ Tracy Treese. It was tough. I don't really have too many words because Coach told us last presser, hey, if we don't play a certain way, we're going to get blown out. They played that way. They got blown out. Yep. What's your thoughts, DJ?
My first thought, put some respect on Minnesota. Y'all, we playing the top 3 defensive team. We playing one of the top 5 teams. In my opinion, one of the top 3 teams in general in the W right now so far in the season. So, I mean, when you're playing a team that's executing at high quality, there's only so much you could do if you're missing the little things that we talk about every episode. So it's like, you know, we kind of knew it was going to go this way.
But you said it. We talk about it every episode. They are professional athletes, right?
Yep.
They work this hard to get here. And when you're hearing words like heart, you know, passion, having these things, toughness, it's like, how bad do you truly want it? So it's kind of hard to see. What did you see out there? First quarter, they come out really slow, 26-13. Right away, it's like they don't want to win this game.
Well, for me, you know, I go 100% off vibes. So the vibes was not good. The vibes were bad first quarter. It was feeling like a lull. The energy just wasn't there, and that's what Coach Miller was talking about. When you talk about that grit, that heart, and pushing extra, it just wasn't there. Nafisa Collier was not playing today, so this was the golden opportunity for us to take advantage of that. But you got vets out there. You got Natisha Heidemann. You got Courtney out there playing. So you playing against players that's not going to miss because they're going for a championship this year. And we're in a rebuilding season, and it looked like we were a rebuilding team.
And like you hope with them having 2 games, they play Saturday, they go on the road to Dallas, and then they come back for the camp game, which is going to be crazy, next Tuesday against NECA back here at home. That in those 2 games, you hope to see some of that, just some of the passion, because we've seen it before. Right?
We've definitely
seen them play with energy. We've seen them play with heart. You don't beat Vegas twice without having some of that, but how can you get it out every game? And that's something that, hey, can Coach do anything about that? Can he maybe talk to them a certain way or go to those players that need it? Like, what could be done? Because right now, watching it on the floor, as a fan who out there, they're watching it, they're listening to us, they're kind of depressed right now.
Now, I'm with you, but this is the moment where, you know, like, if we regular people, you need to sit down and be like, I need therapy. You need to look inside of you. I don't think there's nothing else Coach Miller could do. He done watched all the tape. He done said all the things. He jumping up and down. He's getting technical. He got a technical last game.
Man.
We understand what needs to be done, and that's why, you know, I'm looking forward to after the break. They've taken a beating. We've had 2 long road trips. Now they're going back on the road again with limited practice time. So we need to take a beat. You need to regroup. Sometimes you just need to go to the sauna, go to the steam room, take your mind off basketball for a little bit, and then come back and attack the problem. We still can make a playoff run.
Yeah, but they gotta get it together because they got these 2 games. But tonight it didn't look great. But we're not the only ones that's believing this. Trust. We got Coach Kurt Miller. We got a couple of the players. So check them out in the post-game presser.
Obviously, a game where we were outplayed, outcoached, and again, this is why Minnesota is one of the top 3 teams in the league right now, is their execution at the offensive end, their tempo, their screening, their physicality. It's just really been impressive all year to watch against everybody. And, they're stepping up without even their best player now, and just continuing that. They have such good pros in that locker room that they are very professional about what they do. I thought that we responded out of halftime. We held them to 12 baskets in the second half, and I thought there was more of a desire, a fight, a physicality that we started to match more. Obviously, it's hard to keep that level up the whole game by Minnesota, so we were benefits of a little bit of that. But you got to give our players credit. But the question is why did it take taking a haymaker in that first quarter to respond when all we've talked about is their execution, their physicality. And again, our turnovers against a very good defensive team crept up tonight. Some were self-inflicted, some were, just simply disappointing reads because it's the third time we've played them, and we knew some of the things that we wanted to look for, and we couldn't execute to what we had planned trying to go into this game.
Coach, the team kind of struggled a bit from 3 for 20. Is it just a matter of shots not going down, or is there something about those looks that kind of caused that percentage to be so low?
Yeah, I'll go back and look at the tape. I thought we took a few difficult ones off the dribble, but we have to convert and make open threes. As I tell you, last game, on uncontested shots around the top of the key and even just inside, straight away, inside the arc, above the foul line, we were 2 for 20 on uncontested shots the other night. So another night where, again, you can throw out some of the difficult, maybe off the dribble shots that are lower percentage, but we missed a lot of uncontested shots again. And this is a make or miss league. You have to make shots. These guys, have got to stay confident. You can tell it's in their head right now that they're missing uncontested shots. I don't know if we've dropped, but we've been in the top 4 in shot quality this year for a lot of the season, meaning we are executing to quality shots. But this group's got to be able to make those. Now, sometimes, the adage, right? There's a reason you're open. Some of these guys are being left open on purpose because the opponents and the coaching staffs that are scheming can see the unconfidence that some of them have, and they've got to shoot their way out of it. There's no way to get out of a slump. Then you just got to keep shooting, and I've got to work to see if they're good shots, they're quality shots, and are we executing. They have to find some confidence within themselves. They got to see it go through the hoop.
Coach, after the Mercury game, you essentially told me and everybody else in here that if the team didn't play well, they could lose by 20 plus against the Lynx. Final box score you didn't, but at some point you're down by 25 in the third quarter. How does this happen when you know that this is the possibility and you've, inferred and preached that to the team? So, they know that worst case scenario, you can get blown out.
Yeah, again, that's what they do to everybody, and that's how good their execution and tempo is. And I'm not sure we were ready for the physicality and fight. And as much as you preach it, they have to have the desire when they walk out there. And again, they just didn't have it tonight. It's my job to pull it out of them and have them ready. I thought as the third time going into the game, first time at home, that we had a good game plan and an understanding of how they have hurt us in the first 2 games. But they outplayed us, they out-executed us, and they certainly probably you would have to say out-coached us because no matter how much we talked about it, they did what we were fearful that they could do.
Hey, Coach, at one point did you realize it was their confidence, and at one point in the game did you know it was going to be a long night?
Yeah, again, games, this league is a game of runs, so I'm not sure I ever thought that we weren't going to make a significant run at them. I used a couple early timeouts to try to challenge our team. Like we've got to stay in contention now, or it's going to get away from us. So I was very hopeful that we could settle in and let the game settle in, let us settle in, and that we would make some runs. But obviously, when you're down 16 at halftime, it's not insurmountable, but certainly that locker room, is disappointed when we walk in at halftime.
Hi, Coach. I'm Dayla Davis with FI360, and after the game on Sunday, you mentioned that you're more worried about the team playing to their standards rather than the wins and losses. What are those standards that you've emphasized to the team that you hope to be translated into today's game?
Yeah, I think today's a great, learning lesson for us because it's a copycat league, right? It's a 24-second shot clock. A lot of us run the same offensive sets. But no one's playbook mirrors ours more than theirs, or ours mirrors theirs. Like literally all their high run plays, we have the exact same plays in our playbook. Like literally when I tell you guys, we're running the same things that they're running. But you didn't have to sit out there and ask yourself who is running their stuff better. Crisper, more physical, faster, sharing the ball more. We were running the same exact type of plays. It's a great learning lesson for us that we can learn from them on it's not plays, it's the execution of plays. It's the little things that go into those plays. They are so crisp. They run their stuff so hard. They are fast in short areas, which is always a preaching point of me. We have to be explosive in short areas within our actions, and they are the definition of that. Their tempo is outstanding. It's really fun to witness and watch them. It's not necessarily always fun to coach against them right now because of how well they're executing.
Hey, Coach, DJ from Infanity TV. We've beat Vegas 2 times, and after the second Vegas win, you were just saying, in the WNBA, it's funny like that. Sometimes you just have better matchups. Would you say, from your opinion at this point, that Minnesota is just the opposite of that, and they're constantly the matchup to beat for us?
Yeah, for us, with a younger team, that at times relaxes on defense when they think they're out of maybe a scoring action. And you just have to have 5 people constantly engaged defensively and flowing to actions and moving towards actions when they're not in necessarily the scoring action. If not, they move you and they move you and they move you. So this matchup is difficult for us. This league's funny like that. There's just matchups that are better. In Connecticut, it was one of those things. I had a team that matched up well with Minnesota. When I left Connecticut, I had probably, I think I read this somewhere, the best career record against Cheryl Reeve. And we have not won a game against Minnesota since I arrived here now. So that no longer stat exists, but we've had a bunch of success against them. But again, those were really, really locked in defensive teams in Connecticut, and I'm trying to build that here with that same defensive intensity.
Coach, you talked about the players and just, things that they have to do and they have to figure out. Just as a coach, how frustrated are you, or what things do you think you can do better to kind of get through to them to make sure that they're not having the slippage and being where they need to be, playing how hard they need to play, and even making sure they knock down these shots?
Yeah, the effort is the frustrating thing, right? Again, with the young in the building, I've done this everywhere I've gone. There's growing pains. There's nights where you don't play well. It's just not your night. There's nights where you can get up, and how consistent you can be like that, and when you're in the build is, all part of it. So, I know you know, and again, injuries, illness, people in and out of lineups. Again, Steph's our energy person. Steph has been in the starting lineup. All of a sudden now Steph basically has missed 2 games in a row. And so we lose that toughness. We lose that extra passer. We lose that extra glue kid. You know, it's all part of it. But you got to keep stepping up, you know, when you have adversity. And so we had more adversity tonight. We get Azure back and going, but then you lose Steph. So again, more of my frustration is physicality, is toughness, is effort. Because those things, I don't want to coach. You know, I just want them to be consistent every night, and we need them. You know, we talk about the margin in here a lot between winning and losing for us. Our margin is different than a bunch of teams in this league, and so you have to every night bring your toughness, your energy, your physicality. And we got out-toughed, we got out-physical tonight. Our energy wasn't as high as theirs in the first quarter, which set us back. And, you know, and then, I obviously got out-coached because I wasn't able to push those buttons soon enough. You know, and again, they put their starters back in, they played, we held them to 12 baskets in the second half, we outscored them in the second half, but you know, like, you know, that's just, you know, things you can talk and try to gain confidence out of players. But in reality, we need to talk about that first quarter and why was it the way it was. Thank you.
Hi, this is Judo Kanye Sandberg Mia. This question is for Rickea. First of all, congratulations on your 3,000th point tonight. I'm just curious about someone as the leader of the team. You know, obviously Minnesota came in with the first punch and it kind of set you guys back in this game. But as someone that is a leader of this team, what is your responsibility in creating that, you know, grit and aggression day in and day out from the Sparks?
For me, it's just leading by example. You know, I got to start with the toughness and the physicality from the start of the game. More so, you know, as a pro, you kind of learn yourself, but when you have to lead, I think I have to be more intentional about the tone that I set from the beginning. Like, it may work for me, but it doesn't necessarily work for everybody else. So just being more intentional.
For Azure, you know, you probably wanted your return to the court to go a little differently, you know, the past 2 games. But just, you know, in general, how are you feeling kind of being back out there, and what are you seeing in terms of, like, you know, where you think improvement can be?
Yeah, I feel good. Obviously, like, it's a condensed season, so I've had reps in practice, but we don't really practice too much. So I'm still getting used to just the physicality of the game, incorporating my arm in that. And obviously, I mean, I haven't played in a few months, so just getting my footing back and that type of stuff. So that can be frustrating at times, but I think it just starts with us defensively. Offense is going to come and go. Some nights you might not hit shots, but like defense is something that you can control. So that's something that we've really just been trying to harp on and keep reiterating, because we know that, like, in order to win, we're going to have to stop teams, regardless of if the ball's going in or not.
Questions for Rickea. Both you and Azure hit 2 of the 3 3-pointers that the team shot, 3 for 20. They kind of struggled from there. I know obviously you're more of an inside player, it's less on the perimeter, but obviously you're involved in a lot of those actions. For you, what are the best 3-point looks that are possible, so that way that percentage can go up, since the volume seems like it's appropriate?
I mean, I would prefer to be shooting uncontested, but I feel like all my threes this year have been contested side steps. And but playing with Azure and even Cam, it just allows the flexibility. You know, we're talking about that throughout the game. Like, you roll this possession, I'll rise, or you have more of the mismatch, you dive, I pop. So having that flexibility, it makes it easier for your offense in general, but for me personally. And then we're capable. I mean, I'm shooting a good percentage from the 3 this year, and she has consistently too.
Hey, DJ from Infanity TV. This question is for the both of you. Rickea, from your perspective, we're going into a break. Well, you don't have much of a break with All-Star, and then, you know, the Olympics, and then Azure, same. So we got a little bit of a break where the team can rest and recuperate. What are some things going into this break that you want to see on the other side, right? We've had some losses here. We're regrouping. We're working through it. What are some things that we're going to work on through the break that we can see on the other side?
What are you going to work on? here. I think for everybody, minus myself, just some like relaxation, getaway, mental break. I'm gonna take a little break too, but I think everybody just take some days off, don't think about basketball, and then get back to it. Get back here, start getting ready for the second half of the season. We can still make a push for playoffs. I know it doesn't seem like that, but we can. Like honestly, 3 games out. Yeah, like so much can change over the course of the second half of the season, and so really just locking in when we get back. We'll have some time to like really practice and get reps together, which I think is important too. Obviously, like it's my second game back, so just getting used to some of the newer players is only gonna happen with reps. And then Yeah, and I would say, like she said, there's not that much practice, so being able to get our younger players in and just build confidence, see the ball go in, so we can be a little bit more efficient on offensive end consistently.
With everything that Coach Miller was telling us before this game about how it could go, you know, he was telling us after the Mercury game that, you know, if the team didn't play well, you could lose by 20 plus. And I'm sure he told you some variation of how hard you would have to play against the Lynx. With all of that said, like, you know, when you have that messaging, how would you kind of assess why the team may have started slow in the first quarter where this game started to get out of hand?
Personally, I think just like lack of experience, and I mean, there's a few players on this team that have won championships, but overall in this league, there hasn't been a ton of success individually with the young team. They haven't obviously played, but I mean, Kurt has had success, and they're giving us the game plan, and he's not perfect all the time, but we're the 5 on the floor. So we have to show up at the end of the day. Like, he can only do so much and prep us so much. And we got to start believing in ourselves, trusting ourselves, and trust his plan.
Last question,
De'Erica, we hear Coach, he talked about toughness. You mentioned toughness as well. When you can't really get on the practice floor and you deal with the injuries and things like that, how can you get that out of your teammates to help you guys going forward?
I think toughness comes from believing in yourself. So like I said, the confidence that they can build in this little break. But also it's just a passion and a heart thing. And you can't really teach that. But I think once you start having confidence in yourself, it kind of translates. You want to be physical. You want to get up and show that you can defend. You want to do the extra things that we just don't have that right now.
Thank you. So we're back. We just heard from Coach. We heard from De'Erica, Azare. It's good to see Azare back. She's playing. Yep. She's thrown right into it. She told you last game, I got a restriction to my minutes. No, you don't. 25 minutes, first 2 games, each game. Yep. What's your thoughts on what you've seen from Azare?
I like what I see from Azare, but it's again, I feel bad for the Sparks because it's like as soon as you get thrown into the fire, the pieces are pulled from up underneath you. Stephanie Talbot had just hit a nice little groove. Now we don't see Stephanie anymore. Now Azare is back. It's almost as if, you know, we swap players in and out of that injury list. So that's, again, when you talk about what Coach Miller can do, what can he do? When every time you come to work, the pieces of the puzzle don't move.
You know what can be done? Players looking at themselves in the mirror and realizing, I have to be better. So certain names, Ray Burrell, you know, I show her a lot of love, but this is your chance because, you know, we were talking about it in the media room. Some players, like this might be your career here in the WNBA if you do something the rest of the way. If not, it might be it. So Zaya, you getting the opportunity, come out there and playing well. You know, some players like Lee, they're learning, but even, you know, her. Rickea, you want to show everybody that you're in that class of a Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. You should take over this team and make it yours, but it's looking very tough. So hopefully we see something better Saturday. But before we get out of here, we got to give a player of the game. If you even have one.
I got a player.
Do you got a player of the game?
Before I give you my player of the game, I'm going to leave you with a little positivity, okay? This felt like a Tuesday at the office. Y'all all got jobs out there. You know what it's like to go to work on Tuesday. That's what it was. It wasn't the greatest outcome. The energy was a little low. But my player of the game, of course, I got to give it to our all-star and Olympian, De'Erica Hamby. Getting the job done no matter what, trying to be a leader and speak positively and help her team out. So De'Erica's my player.
That's who I have to choose. This Rickea Hamby. She's the one that came out there every game. She's playing with heart, energy, toughness, playing like she has something to prove. Learn from her, ladies, because she is playing lights out. That's how you become an all-star. That's how you get a trip to the Olympics.
Yep.
But hey, we're going to see what's going to happen Saturday. We're going to be in studio
Yes.
for that one because they're going to be on the road. Hopefully, we get a better outcome from your Sparks. Michael, DJ, we'll catch you guys next time.